I'm here with Mike Maniscalco, ESPN Radio, The Fan in North Carolina. Mike, thanks for joining us today.
Sean, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
The Olympics are just about to start, and one of the great talking points is Olympic hockey. And just want to get your perspective on a couple things today.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to this tournament pretty much more. The only other tournament I was as excited about was the ones in Nagano when it all started off and all the pros were out there. So I'm pretty excited about this tournament, especially we'll be able to watch every game with it being in Vancouver. That makes a big difference. So,
what do you see as 2 or 3 of the biggest storylines going into it?
Well, I think one of the bigger storylines that's out there is all the pressure on Team Canada. It's their home ice. And this is something where they got a little bit of redemption after what happened in Torino. They've got to make sure that they go back and win the gold medal, after winning it in Salt Lake City. So I think that's the big storyline. How does Canada handle the pressure that's on them? Because this isn't the same normal Olympic Games for Team Canada. So that's a storyline that I'm going to follow, and I'm going to need the Canadian press to help me do that. So that's a very good thing. So CTV, please do your job so I can find out, what everybody's doing. I think the other storyline, just being here in the United States, the U.S. went away from traditionally all of those older players that have made up the core of USA hockey. So how does this young team do? They're a faster team. They're actually built for the Olympics if you see what they've done. The selfish storyline being an American is I want to see how USA is going to do. And a third storyline for me, which is interesting, first time it's not really the Olympic ice surface. It's the National Hockey League surface. So, when Europe has any kind of advantage, Russia, Sweden, Finland, is because it's the bigger ice. They know how to play on it. That's gone. So it's going to be an NHL tournament. So how much of an impact will Canada and the U.S. have? Because they're used to playing on that ice. So those are the 3 big storylines that I'm going to follow, just being a hockey fan. And then, of course, there's always the individual players. Who steps up, who represents their country well. Will there be a Dominik Hasek performance where, he leads the Czechs to the gold medal? Sorry to bring that up for you. But those are always the other little storylines that I'm looking for. And, covering the Carolina Hurricanes like I do, I want to see how Eric Stahl performs for Team Canada. There are 2 Finns who play here in UC Jokinen who should be on that team, the third, but Joni Pitkanen and Tuomo Ruutu, how they're going to do. And, of course, Tim Gleason, the kind of impact he'll have for Team USA.
Great. So, in a short tournament, do you see coaching being much of a factor?
Yeah, I do, because you have to find out right away what's the mix, what's the chemistry, and especially now that it's not college kids or, amateurs, you've got to manage all of the egos. So you've got to be able to tell guys who are used to playing 18, 19 minutes a game, you're playing 15 minutes a game. And how do you get that right mix? So, yeah, coaching is very important, and I think international experience, that's okay. It doesn't matter who coaches Team Canada. Scotty Bowman could be behind the bench. They're going to know the immense pressure that's on their shoulders. This is one of these tournaments where can you get the right matchup? Do you find the right pairings? Do you make the right decisions? And I think that's the biggest thing for coaching. And it's, we always love Herb Brooks and what Herb Brooks brought. That doesn't exist anymore for Canada and the U.S. and to a lesser extent, Russia, Finland, Sweden. They're so populated with NHL players. Those coaches always have the problem of manage the egos, get the guys ready to play.
Great. A lot of fantastic teams out there, great NHL players. Who do you see as kind of the favorite going in from a team perspective?
Oh, the favorite's got to be Canada. When you look at that lineup, how can Canada not be the favorite when you've got Crosby, who's on that team, and a young burgeoning superstar, the goaltending? How do you pick against Marty Brodeur, who holds every major record that's out there and knows how to win in international competition? So Canada has to be the favorite, but the pressure on Canada, if they have a bad game, even if they win a game, but it's close against, say, Germany, that's going to be something that people are going to put on their shoulders. What's wrong with this team? How can you be better? But Canada has to be the odds-on favorite. I do like Russia. I think that Russia is that team. You've got the best player in the world in Alex Ovechkin, and there's a lot of talented players that are out there. And we all forget that Russia is very good in international play. Oh, and on top of that, Sweden is the defending champions, and it comes down to goaltending. So I like those teams 1, 2, and 3 heading into it.
Great. Mike's final question. Let's say Team Canada makes it to the Olympic finals. How much are tickets going to go for?
Let's see. What is the gross national product of Canada, that word, times 3? That's literally set your price. I would say on the conservative side, if Canada's in the gold medal game, you could probably get $3,000 in U.S. money accepted at par. So that's the big thing for that. But you can name your price. And especially if they play the United States or Russia, those tickets will go through the roof.
Great. Mike, thanks for joining us today. Enjoy the games. Again, Mike Maniscalco, 99.9 The Fan in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Good to be with you. And anytime you want to talk Olympic hockey, I'll be here 4 years from now, hopefully.